A little bit better. Not much. A little bit better. It's just bright out there. Kind of halfway snowed in. And I figured I would do a mental health live stream because I'm starting to lose my mind out here, man. I'm very isolated right now. And can't really do much. I got myself down to the highway. I cleared most of it out yesterday, but the highways are a wreck right now, so I can't really get to town. And hey, Cornish. Hey, Trevor. I'm just, halfway trapped. Oh, there's my hat. I feel naked without a hat on. I got horrible hair. I need to shave it all off soon. Ugh. I feel better now. I'm not naked. Hat on, but I think a bald guy thing. Hey, Cornish. Nah, not queso. Don't got it. But no, all I got right now is listening to birds and watching crap I've got downloaded. Um, so like it's cold out too. It's like it's negative 12 Celsius, which is cold in America too. So I'm not going out much right now. And I guess you'd call it like cabin fever. Yeah, I got this free from work. She gave it to me over the summer when I first started because yeah, we got a bunch of crap in. Hello, hello. But like the snow, it's been snowing out nonstop for the last couple of days. It's snowing out right now, and I'm in the woods. I'm alone, and I'm just going stir crazy right now because I can't get into town. I can't hear another. I'm a social person. Figured, hey, why not live stream for my mental health? I'm from Canada. E. And streaming now is actually possible because my data cap is reset on the 12th. Yep, hobo in the woods. Literally nothing. Like I've been out gathering wood since I woke up. About 3 hours worth. I got up at about 11 gathering wood because it's going to be going down to negative 30 Celsius, which is like negative 31 Fahrenheit. It is crazy cold. So I'm going to have a bonfire going nonstop in the next few days. But there's like no social human interaction up here. There's no people around. Of course, there's going to be no interaction. I can't walk to 2 trees over, knock on the knot, and have it open up to have a conversation with the person. I got to go into town or go into work for that, and I don't work until Thursday. So I needed to come on here for my own sanity. It's always it's snowing. Yeah, it's kind of at a break. It's not snowing right now, but it's been snowing all day. It's been snowing yesterday and the day before nonstop, and it's going to be snowing. The snow is supposed to start up again at like 3 o'clock in the afternoon, 4 o'clock in the afternoon, and it's going to go until mid Wednesday. I can't get into town. Like I'm legit just trapped here. I cleared a pathway from camp to the highway, but at the highway the snow is so bad they haven't plowed this area yet. I can't get down there to hitchhike into town, and for me to walk into town, that's easy a 3 hour walk because I have no other choice. It's a long story, but I used to be a crane operator. Started having seizures. Into a very vicious divorce because I was no longer allowed to do that. And no, the kind of money I used to have coming into like 6 figures, mid 6 figures, isn't coming in anymore. Got divorced, very bitter. Trying to get on disability because I have seizures and had an unknown medical problem. My body was just going through hell. So, turns out I've got multiple sclerosis. I'm in Canada, and it's been 4 years fighting to get on disability. Last year, I ran out of all my savings, maxed out my cards just to stay inside, and I've been outside ever since. I'm now living deep in the woods, pretty far up north in near a town called Sudbury. And technically, this is a tent, but it's reinforced, and it's really cold out. All tents are not waterproof. I reinforced it, so through here there's a layer, there's a tarp layer, there's a blanket layer, there's a layer of leaves in bags, and then there's a cement tarp layer over that. So it's fairly warm in here, mind you. Can't be that warm because you still see my breath. Man, I wish I could be the good crane operator for you. I'm not allowed to. I lost all my licenses, man. They took my licenses because you're not allowed to operate heavy machinery when there's a good chance you're going to have a seizure and take somebody out. Thank you, Lily. I appreciate that. How do you start over? I've got a medical condition, man. I'm on more medication. I've got multiple sclerosis, man. There's no starting over with that. I'm trying to start over. I'm trying to work on that. It's I need my meds. I'm not functional without my medication. I can't walk without my meds. They make it so my legs don't feel like they're on fire, and make it so they don't spasm and hurt me. Look up multiple sclerosis. It's a horrible disease. This is not holiday. I live out in the woods. I've been living in the woods for a while. Salty, I'm not a raging heroin addict. I don't even drink, man. I've got no substance abuse problems. I'm not camping though. There's a difference. I'm not camping. I live in the woods. It, Grassroots media, you are absolutely right. Unfortunately, that's the case. Nah, man, I'm what you would call homeless. I live in deep woods west of Sudbury, Ontario. Just off a major highway that leads to a hospital. I'm not queso. I get called it a lot. It's the time of day I chose to stream. It's what 2 o'clock in the afternoon. All the kids have just gotten off school, so now they're like, "Oh, it's a very large man with somewhat of a red beard. That's gotta be queso, man." Not queso, just a hobo in the woods. No, no, no. The way they do the food programs up here are they do something called a food bank. But to access that system, you have to have identity within the service areas. So in one small service area, there could be 10,000 people living in that area. If you're living in that area and your ID card says you live in that area, you can access that. My ID card says no fixed address, so I have no access to any of the food banks. I have a job, I work. I'm somewhat able to survive off of work. That's covering my medications. That covers my meds for the month. I spend about $700 every month on my MS meds and my anxiety meds, which stop me from having seizures. And what I make, little I make from YouTube, helps keep me going. Um, Man, I've got a case for ODSP, Ontario Disability. It's been going for 4 years now. If I was to leave, I'd give up on that, and they owe me back pay for 4 years. It's going to be like $60,000. I've got a lawyer dealing with that. Inside a slide. Eh, this is a fabric tent, man. It's my makeshift shelter. Okay. You know what? You guys are kind of funny. I'm going to admit that. Jab away. You too, Canadian grassroots. Can you too? And you know what? If you guys think I'm queso, I'm okay with that. Don't give queso some cash because that guy's a rich streamer. I got a PayPal in my bio. Use that if you think I'm queso. No, don't do that. I'm not here begging. I'm just here for my mental health. Uh, so, by the way, I've got a counter going for every time somebody calls me queso. Last time I checked, it was at like 230 times. You guys have brought it at least up to 240, 250. Um, my name is Robert, by the way. Hi, still not queso. I'll take the attention though. Your guys are at least making me laugh. Nah. I'm more like Wish.com queso or that Timo queso or the dollar store queso or Forest Druid queso. Yeah, that's what I like to call myself, a modern Forest Druid. Hi, Paula. Oh, how you doing? I do have a campfire every single day of the week. Um, it's so cold up here. I've got an outdoor fridge. It's a pile of snow and ice that I make like 6 or 7 meals ahead of time and freeze it, and then I have a fire every night to heat that up. I've got it's starting to run thin, but I still got quite a few left. Yeah, you know what? I can survive in the. For God's sake, you're damn right I can survive. Like last night, it was down to negative 18 degrees Celsius. That is like negative. That is like -1 or 2 Fahrenheit. It's going to be -34 in the next couple days, and I survive it without a problem. Man, I'm a survivor. Not to mention, I'm doing it with a disease called multiple sclerosis. So beat that. Have queso do that shit. I'm not queso. There's no other human beings around me. For me to get to town, it's all woods. For me to if I hitchhike, I'll hit the highway, stick my thumb out, get a ride. It's a 20-minute drive to town. For me to walk, it'd be about 3 hours. In between there, my work is the opposite way of town. It takes me 15 minutes to walk to my boss's driveway. Then she picks me up, and it's another 15-minute drive. But it is pretty rough terrain. My workplace is the nearest other human being around, and still that's kilometers away. No houses along the stretch of highway. I think the nearest other human being would be my boss, and for me to walk there is like an hour and a half, 2 hours. That's the nearest other human being. There's no people in this area. I'm in the woods. What do you expect? I'm not queso, but I'll take the compliment. The man knows how to make some money. Um, Not exactly. I was lucky enough that my boss hired me. I was in Toronto for a long time trying to find work for 10 months. And you know what? I'll give you the most recent story. This just happened last week. Do you know how hard it is to find a job when you don't have an address? Extremely hard. I'm lucky I've got the job I've got. It is only part time, but I know there's limits on what I can do. Like I can't go work construction because the seizures and the multiple sclerosis. I can't operate a crane because I no longer have the licenses. I used to operate a tower crane. Like I was above the city building, those big ass buildings. That was me. There's quite a few buildings downtown Toronto I personally got to work on, and the Mimico area. But now that I can't do that, that's all my experience. I did that since I was 18. I'm 36 now. Going on 37. Scary shit. But yeah, it was Friday of last week. I had a job interview as a dispatcher for a taxi company overnights in town. That's great. Had the interview and she says, you know what? I think we're going to move ahead and hire you. I'm going to go get the onboarding paperwork. She got that. I filled it out and she asked for my identification. I've got an ID card. It's in the phone. Well, that's not in the phone. It's in the wallet that's in the phone is in. Gave it to her. She went back and photocopied it. On my ID, it says NFA, no fixed address. She saw that and suddenly the job disappeared and they didn't hire me. That was Friday. That's how hard it is to get a job when you do not have an address. They see that and, oh, we don't want you anymore. Well, thank you for calling me handsome, even though I'm a bald bastard. With messy hair. I look like I'm going to spout my plans for global domination. Oh, I don't mind for the queso raid. Keep it up. Like, goddamn, raid him. Help me make some cash. I'm broke as fuck. I got a plan, man. Seriously, raid queso for me. Raid his stream. Tell him to come and say, this guy looks at you. And get me a few million subscribers. I need $15,000. That's all I need. Then my life changes that day. Seriously, it does. Because I would be able to get the property, lease the property at the Green Project, get the trailer for $800, and have a home internet where I could work from home and have actual employment. So, raid the guy. I'll be queso. I'll be whoever you want. Doesn't work like that, man. Christopher, cops are hard on any person living outdoors. I am in a spot where I don't come in contact with another human being. That's why I'm streaming, because I'm lonely right now. Um, I've gone, when I first got to this spot, I went 4 months without seeing another person near the spot. And since I've been here, back to here, um, I haven't seen another living human being for a long time around here. The most thing I see are coyotes, deer, and bear. Oh, see, that's the thing. I would have to find someone. I already got the whole thing in mind. I know construction. I found where I can get a trailer that was built in 1985. It needs work, and I know exactly what I would do with it. $800. I just need to get it, transport it from there to the land I want it for, and then I'd also have to get the land and solar and crap like that. But it wouldn't take much. My few of my mods have finally convinced me to accept a GoFundMe. I'm going to accept that, and you might even see me do a fundraiser stream in the future, because I know I have to do something drastic and I have to do it soon to get out of the situation. And yeah, I am in Canada. What do I think about Canada becoming the 51st state? I don't think it'll happen the way you think it will. At most, the country will slightly amalgamate. The borders will be dissolved. We would technically still be our own country, but it would be more like a formal alliance and agreement where our governments and stuff are related, but we would still govern ourselves. That's the only way. But free trade would be completely opened up, and you guys would have more access to our resources. That's the only way it would happen, because unless you guys decide to come over here in force with military, but you don't do that to your neighbors. And if you did, you got to remember Canada is known for three things on this world: maple syrup, being polite, and war crimes. Yeah, a tent. Central Ontario. You're up near me then. Well, I'm a little bit northern Ontario, so central. You are probably closer to Barrie then. Barrie, at most, I'd say at most Parry Sound. Close enough. If, funny, With Sega, man, that is exactly where the trailer I want, where I could get a trailer for $800. That's exactly where it is sitting, is in Wasaga Beach. I'd have to get it from there up to, up 4 hours north of Sudbury. Once I get I'm trying to figure out how to get the money for the plot of land and everything. And again, probably going to have to fundraiser for that. Ugh, that makes me feel disgusting. Oh, no, no, here's the thing. I could never afford rent, but what I can afford is there's a project called the Green Project where I could get a plot of land forever, a one-time payment of $5,000, and the half acre of land is mine with well access. There's showers there. I could get that, plunk the trailer down, throw some solar panels down. I don't need much electricity. I would throw a wood burning stove in there for my power, for my heat and cooking, and maybe if I can Starlink so I have a little bit of internet access and work from home. For all that, I just need the money for the property. I can get the trailer for dirt cheap, fix it up slowly, and get a dog. So I'm working part time right now. I've got something called multiple sclerosis, Peter. I spend the majority of what I make from work on my medication. Last month, I was very blessed. I came into a lot of money because of the channel. So I spent $630 that month on my medication. Um, with MS, your symptoms can change randomly and it gets worse. Your medication just stopped working and then you got to figure everything else out. That happened to me. My muscles started to spasm. I could not walk. I could not operate. It was hell. So, 2 times in 1 month, I had to go to Toronto. Saw my doctor and he reevaluated all my medications. So I had to buy all my medications, new medications, for the second time in 1 month. I'm broke as fuck because I spent spending everything I had on medication. Oh, that and the cheapest place you can find for rent is $1,300 a month in Ontario, and that's for a room sharing apartment where you're going to be sleeping next to a person in a living room, and every other room is rented out by two other people. Oh, unfortunately, up here, our healthcare is free, not our medication. We have something called the Trillium Medical Plan. I have applied for it multiple times, and I've been denied it multiple times because I've got a job. If I was on welfare, I would get it no problem. But I wouldn't survive on welfare. Like, welfare is $300 a month, so I'd have to get rid of the YouTube channel because I make that about every month on YouTube, and I'd have to quit my job, and just so the government would pay for my medications and pay me welfare for $300. I don't. That doesn't make sense to me. And I'm not a person that just wants to sit around and do nothing. I want to work. I want to feel useful. I want to feel like a human being, like a man. I fucking worked since I was 18. Like, I started my apprenticeship when I was 18. And not working, not having a job makes me feel like an absolute worthless human being. Like scum. I felt like shit when I didn't have anything. You know what I think about for fire making? One of these damn things. I've got like a dozen of them just for fire. You know what beats everything? Is just having a few spare lighters on you. You don't need to go into the woods like pretend to be a bushman. Okay, these guys who are going to the woods and they're digging a hole and sleeping in at night. They're not bushmen. They're frauds. They're doing it for the views, and they're really good at it. They're really good at getting views and making money off of these useless skills that they don't even have, because the majority of the time they have someone helping them build it. You know what a real fucking skill is for survival? Knowing what to actually keep with you. Knowing that keep a lighter in your pocket, keep two in your bag, and keep one in your damn back pocket. That is a survival skill more than, oh, I can start a fire with a stick. That's bullshit. Okay, I don't like survival people. There are 90% of them on YouTube are frauds. They don't know what the fuck it's actually like. They do their little video, they go home into their nice warm home. Real fucking survival is being out here 24 hours a day, 7 goddamn days a week without a choice. I don't have a choice but to survive. That is real survival. Not, ooh, I'm going to go to the bush and show you how to turn a tampon into a fire starter. Fuck those guys. I hate them all. I've been sleeping. There's no nearby. The nearby city is a 3-hour walk. I'm in the deep bush, man. I've got legit. I've got that way. I've got a small a herd of deers camping out by me over there. Got coyotes always going by me. There's bear prints all around. We got a couple. I got a couple black bears just around the area, but they're harmless. Is that Fahrenheit or what? I don't smoke weed, man. I don't smoke weed. I drink very few and far between. Like with alcohol, I'll have a beer once in a while when I really want one. Usually, it's just with people on the Discord, and even then, you put 2 beers in me and I'm plastered. There was a night I came online. It was the 18th. It was the December 14th. It's a special night for me. Is the night my grandfather died. I did a stream, and I did the same damn thing I do all the time. Is it's the one night a year I let myself have more than 1 or 2 beers, no matter where, because it's to celebrate a person who was very influential in my life. I was freaking hammered after 2 beers, and you guys knew it when I was streaming. I was all over the place. I could not sit still. I could not get a proper word out without slurring my words. I was hammered. An axe. I've got a small hatchet, and I've got a folding saw. That's. I was collecting wood for like 3 hours today, prepping for what's happening. Uh, it's gonna be -34 within a week, and right now it's like gonna be -20 tonight, and it's going down really fast. I've got about 1,500 pounds worth of wood chopped, packed under tarps over there. And I collected another 300 pounds of wood today. I'll do that again tomorrow, chopped, ready to go, because I'm going to have a bonfire going for 24 hours a day until the cold breaks right out in front of my camp here, just so I have that warmth coming in. The fire is very important for warmth because I don't care how insulated your shelter is. You need something extra to keep you warm, and I will not bring any sort of flame or fuel into my camp because the risk of death is too much. You have an alcohol flame in here, you're still putting off carbon monoxide, and you legit could die. I don't need a chopping axe. I don't need all that stuff. I've got a job. I'm working. I've got exactly what I need, where it is just what I need, and I don't have too much. I have just enough things to keep myself going. I've got a windbreak. I've already set that stuff up, man. And I'm in a spot where I'm lucky the wind doesn't reach. I chose a very smart spot to set up camp. So we'll say, oh, up here is the highway. It goes down in a valley, pretty deep valley, and then there's an incline where I am. The wind blows all the snow and the wind up here, and it never actually gets down to me. So I don't worry too much about the wind. I chose this spot very deliberately, using the surroundings so I'd be safe as possible. Hey, Debbie. This one's like $30, but I've done a lot of work, so is waterproof, windproof, and keeps the heat in. Like it's negative like 12 or 12, 13 Celsius out there right now. I'm nice and warm. Plus, I've got like I've got about 14 blankets, 4 of which are underneath me. I am on the high ground. I'm in a valley, but on the high ground. So there's no chance for me to get flooded out. Plus, I've even gone further. Is the spot I am on isn't level. It's actually a little bit like this. So if when it does rain, or there is a melt, the water kind of just goes past me, and there's no risk of me getting flooded out. Hey, Eliza, how you doing? Elise. Hey, Shane. No, I very deliberately chose the spot I'm in. I've learned a lot, picking the wrong spots. I know pretty much what I'm doing through sheer stupidity and mistakes that I've made. I work in an outdoor store right now. It is just part time, but it's what I could get, and I'm trying to get more. Well, even then, if I even built an outhouse, well, a latrine, I'm calling it. It is 50 meters that way. Built it a lot earlier, and I surrounded it with. I built the wall right around it and over it, so I don't get wet when I'm pooping. Dug a hole about 3-4 feet deep. Put a 5-gallon bucket over it, cut the hole in it, and fused a toilet seat on that. Put rocks over that. So, man, I'm surviving. Well, I'm snowed in right now, honestly. There is nowhere for me to go right now. It's been snowing for days nonstop. I cleared a pathway out to the highway last night and ran to the city, but then it continues snowing and the highways haven't been plowed yet, so I can't get back to the city, and I'll have to re-go over my pathways to get back out to the highway. So I'm snowed in right now, and I was starting to get cabin fever, so I just jumped on stream. Yep. Well, I'm lucky I've got this one right here. I have to get to town tomorrow because that's my last one that has a charge in it. But this is a bigger one. That'll last till tomorrow. Hey, Michael. I've got books. I go to the library a lot and take up books, and I've got a good solid pair of winter boots. I made sure to pick up a pair of winter boots when I still had the money to get them. I got them like 3 weeks back, and yeah, a good pair of winter boots are freaking awesome. I even got winter socks. Oh man, the reason why I'm up north is because of that job. The reason why I'm so far up north, I used to be in Toronto. Now I'm like 5 hours north of Toronto, is because of this job. 10 months in Toronto searching for work, getting turned away. I had like 4 or 5 interviews every week. No one would hire me because my ID reads no fixed address on it. I came up here because of a job interview at a motel for a night auditor position. They did not hire me for that. On the trip up, I had been looking for other work opportunities where my current boss posted a want ad on Kijiji. I responded. She set up an interview, and then I went a day early to find the store. Walked in, and she's like, "Oh, can I help you with anything?" Oh, I'm sorry. I actually just wanted to find the place. I have an interview here tomorrow, and yeah, we talked to her in the spot. I held nothing back. I explained the entire situation to her, and she's like, "Yeah, I'll hire you." And I've been there ever since. In fact, my boss is fantastic. I even have keys to the safe, code to the safe, the code to the alarm, uh, and keys to the front door. It's not a choice, King Dong. It's not a choice. So I could take what I'm making from work, put it into the cheapest apartment I could possibly find, like a room sharing situation where I share a room with like 5 other people, but I wouldn't be able to afford my medication. You know what's better than being indoors? Being able to walk. Without my meds, without my MS medications, my anti-spasm medications, I'm not able to walk. My legs are hell. I'm not streaming on TikTok yet. I've got 50 people following me on TikTok. I don't like TikTok very much. Well, I like my boss a lot. She's a good person. Yeah, no, not TikTok yet. Not that. I got a lot of work with TikTok first. I'd probably see that's how cold it is. Feels I can feel the temperature dropping too. Jackie, don't go out in winter. That's my top one. If you want to survive winter, don't go out in winter. You don't want to survive in winter. Don't put yourself in a position where you have to survive the winter. Don't go winter camping. Don't do this shit. If you have the choice, just don't. That's a survival tip. Don't. Only if if you have to choose between surviving and being comfortable, choose being comfortable. If you don't have a choice and you're put into a survival situation, get yourself a lot of blankets and watch the weather. Always watch the weather. Always carry a bunch of lighters. Gather more firewood than you think you're going to need. When you think you've got enough, get 10 times more than that. Nice warm socks. Always carry nice warm socks. Dress in layers. One thick layer like a pair of long johns and a baggy layer on your outermost layer. That'll keep you nice and warm outside. Always choose an incline to sleep on because there could be a thaw, and just don't get wet. Yeah, I'm close enough to the main road, and there's a cell tower not too far from me. That's kind of why I'm here, as I can get a signal. Bree, I'm in a tent in the woods by myself, without a choice. Oh, thank you very much, man. Thank you for the super. You freaking rock. No, don't worry about it, Bree. You don't need to apologize. You didn't do this. It's just unfortunate circumstances happen. I'm not even angry at it. I'm not even angry at my ex-wife anymore. Like, there's no point in being angry at something you've had no control over. When shit happens, it happens. There's no point in being mad, upset, nothing like that. It's one of those things, you get what you get and you don't get upset at it. You just keep trying every single day to keep moving. Anyways. But yeah, we also have a Discord. I just don't have I can't post links. And my mod is unavailable right now. Um, but we do have a Discord. And yeah, I'm gonna, I'm gonna. I've got a lot. Things are about to change. Things are about to change. But I think I'm gonna have to let you guys go now. I'm starting to feel all talked out. The super chats are pretty good actually. They're 70%. 70% go to the creator. 30% go to YouTube. That's how YouTube makes the money. And I don't even knock them for it. Oh my, Bree, thank you very much. And I'm just starting to get to the point where I'm tired of talking now. I needed a conversation, and I had a conversation. We do have a Discord. I will find somewhere to post the link. There's a link in my bio as well on YouTube. You guys could come join us. We play games a lot, keep each other sane. It's not just for homeless people. It's a place where everybody comes together. I think it's been a good place for not just for me, but for all the other members. we're all a little bit screwed up in our own way, but we end up playing games and having good times. Right now, we're on to this game called Rusted Warfare. It's a good game. And yeah, I hope you guys can come join me sometime. Jennifer, I've been fighting for ODSP for 4 years now. Instead of giving me ODSP, they try to convince me to take MAID. I've got a lawyer right now fighting for my ODSP case. They don't want, it's not that easy to get. They'll give it to a person who they don't think is going to be on it a long time before they'll give it to a person who wants to live. You'll see a person who has severe addiction problem, which I don't disagree with. People who have addictions and problems need support more than anybody else. I believe they need to get healthy, but it's easier for them to get ODSP, and they'll get it within 3 months of applying. Where a person with a severe addiction, and it's for horrible reasons, is the government doesn't think they're going to be around long enough to really do any damage. They think they're going to overdose themselves to death, and it happens every damn day. But a good person like me, they try to convince me to take assisted suicide, and they can go fuck themselves. You guys have a great time, and I've had a fun time. Thank you guys for joining the chat. We're going to do this again sometime soon, probably tonight when I feel lonely again. I do this a lot randomly because I feel lonely, especially when I'm trapped in here like this, and my next day at work isn't until Thursday. You guys have a great night. Thank you, or day. Thank you for joining me. I'm going to let you guys go now.